Jalaluddin Rumi, a celebrated Sufi mystic and poet from the 13th century, and Friedrich Nietzsche, the renowned German philosopher of the 19th century, come together in an imaginative simulation to engage in profound debates on the nature of existence and human spirituality. Our journey spans two iconic cities: Konya, where Rumi's mystical teachings flourished, and Basel, where Nietzsche's philosophical challenges to conventional morality took shape. In these dialogues, Rumi and Nietzsche clash over two fundamental questions: the nature of God and the purpose of love. Drawing on Rumi's Masnavi and Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra, we delve into the intellectual rift between mystic spirituality and existential individualism. Join Attic Books as Rumi and Nietzsche engage in a timeless debate that transcends centuries. The nature of God and human relationship.
The essence of existence is love, and God is the source of that love. God is not a distant entity, but rather the breath of every living being, the light that guides us. To know oneself is to know God, for He resides within and around us, encompassing all creation. Without the divine, existence would be but an empty shell, lacking any meaning or purpose.
Rumi, you speak of love and divine presence, but I see this belief as a shackle. God is dead is not a proclamation of triumph, but an acknowledgement of reality. Humanity has outgrown the need for a divine overseer. To find true meaning, one must break free from the illusion of a higher power. We must embrace our own strength, our own will to power, and create meaning through our actions. The divine you speak of is a crutch, a comforting lie that prevents us from embracing our true potential.
Friedrich, I understand your yearning for autonomy, but the freedom you seek is already within you. It is through love that we transcend the limitations of the ego. God is not a master to be obeyed, but an infinite love that invites us to dissolve our boundaries and experience unity. The ego's strength is a mirage, a wall that separates us from the infinite ocean of love. When we surrender to God, we find true freedom, not as individuals bound by desires, but as souls merged with the divine.
Surrender, you say. To surrender is to deny one's essence, to reject what makes us human, our desires, our will, our individuality. I reject this notion of submission. Instead, I celebrate the power of the self, the ability to shape one's destiny without the need for a cosmic authority. The true artist of life is one who creates his own values unbound by the chains of divinity. I understand your yearning for connection, but I see it as an escape from the challenges of life, a refusal to face the chaos head-on and bend it to one's will.
But Friedrich, the chaos you speak of is not something to be dominated, but something to be understood and embraced. In surrender, there is a profound strength, a strength that comes not from domination, but from harmony. When we align ourselves with the divine flow of existence, we transcend the chaos, not by controlling it, but by becoming one with it. This unity is where true power lies, not in isolation, but in interconnectedness.
To embrace chaos is to accept its unpredictable nature, not to lose oneself in a supposed divine flow. I advocate for the courage to stand alone, to impose one's own order on chaos, to shape it as an artist shapes clay. Your harmony, Rumi, seems to me like a surrender of individuality, a dissolution that robs a person of their unique essence. I find meaning in the struggle itself, in the assertion of one's will, not in merging with something greater.
You see individuality as the pinnacle of existence, Friedrich, but I see it as the first step. To go beyond the self is not to lose one's essence, but to expand it, to become part of something greater without losing what makes us unique. Imagine a drop of water. It is distinct. Yet when it merges with the ocean, it becomes part of a vast, boundless unity. It is both itself and more than itself. This is the journey of the soul, to realize that we are both individual and universal.
A drop in the ocean, perhaps. But I do not wish to lose myself in a vastness where individuality is diluted. The power of the individual is what drives humanity forward, what creates greatness. To become more than oneself is not to merge with an indistinct whole, but to rise above the ordinary, to carve one's own path, to be a creator of values. Your ocean, Rumi, may be comforting, but I choose the mountaintop where one stands alone, facing the world and giving it meaning.
The purpose of love.
Rumi, let us speak of love. As you said that you regard love as a sacred force, a means to transcend the self and connect with the divine. But I see love as something that binds, something that weakens the individual by making them dependent on others. True strength lies in embracing solitude, in finding purpose within oneself, not in the fleeting and often destructive passion of love. Love, as I see it, is a distraction from one's true potential, a chain that binds us to others and keeps us from rising to greatness.
Friedrich, I understand your skepticism, but love is not merely an emotion that binds. It is the essence that transforms. When we love, we do not lose ourselves. We find a deeper part of who we are. Love is the alchemy that turns the base metals of our ego into the gold of divine connection. It is not about dependency, but about expansion, about seeing beyond the confines of the self. True love elevates us, allowing us to touch the infinite and become more than just individuals. It connects us to the divine.
To touch the infinite, you say. I prefer to stay grounded, to be fully present in this world. Love, as you describe it, seems like a way to escape the harsh reality of existence. It lures people into forgetting their own potential, into seeking validation outside themselves. I do not need to merge with anything greater, Rumi. I find my purpose in asserting my will, in standing alone, in becoming the Übermensch, the one who creates his own values, unchained from the need for love or divine approval.
But Friedrich, love is not an escape. It is a gateway. It is through love that we truly understand the beauty of existence. Love opens our hearts and minds to the wonder that lies beyond our individual desires. It is not a weakening force, but an empowering one that allows us to transcend the boundaries we place upon ourselves. The ego fears love because it fears dissolution. But in love, we do not dissolve. We expand, we grow, and we become more.
I hear your words, Rumi, but I still see love as an illusion, one that comforts but ultimately deceives. It is a way to avoid the reality of solitude, a way to escape the burden of creating one's own purpose. Love may bring comfort, but it also brings suffering, dependency, and vulnerability. I choose the path of the lone wanderer, the one who faces life without illusions, who embraces the struggle without needing the crutch of love. The true test of strength is to stand alone without seeking solace in others.
Friedrich, love indeed brings vulnerability, but it is in this vulnerability that we find our true strength. To love is to open oneself to the possibility of pain, but also to the possibility of profound joy and connection. It is not a crutch, but a journey that reveals the interconnectedness of all beings. You speak of solitude, but even in solitude, one is not alone. Love is the bridge that connects us to the divine, to each other, and to the beauty of existence. It is not about escaping reality, but about embracing it fully, with all its light and shadow.
In this video, Jalaluddin Rumi and Friedrich Nietzsche engaged in a profound exchange of ideas on two key topics: the nature of God and the purpose of love. Each discussion brought forward the inherent tensions between mystic spirituality and existential individualism, shedding light on how these two perspectives continue to shape our understanding of existence and the human experience. These debates highlight the complexity of the human pursuit of knowledge, emphasizing the interplay between spiritual beliefs and the assertion of individuality. As we reflect on the insights provided by both Rumi and Nietzsche, we are reminded that the journey toward truth is rich and multifaceted, involving a convergence of diverse approaches, each contributing a unique perspective. For further reading and to explore the works mentioned in this discussion, please visit the link provided above. Thank you for spending your time with Attic Books. Until our next journey together, take care.